Welcome to another episode of the BBCE podcast. Hi, I'm Phil Endress alongside Steve Hart, the owner of Baseball Card Exchange, and we're excited to be here and excited about our topic today. Today, we're talking about the auction angle. What's selling, what's surging in auctions in general, and specifically at the BBCE auctions. We've had 5 auctions thus far, and each one has been better and better and better. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about what BBCE auctions can offer and also what we feel is surging and selling well. Steve, glad you're here again.
No problem.
Let's talk about the BBCE auction. Let's talk about the auction experience or the auction angle. A lot of people, they don't want to go through negotiations selling outright to an individual. We've learned that. Of course, our preferred angles, we'd just like to buy it from you.
Yep.
We'd like to buy it and pay you a fair wage, fair price, and we also pay in cash. But for those that that prefer another method, the auction house method, there is certainly some advantages to consigning with BBCE auctions.
Right.
What are some of those benefits, if you will?
Well, like you said, we always like to purchase collections, and a lot of times that's what people need because this transaction can be made in 2 or 3 days. However, if you also want to consign to the auction, it's a longer process, but maybe you feel you maximize the value of your collection a little bit more.
Right. Absolutely. And, there's a risk. There's a risk consigning not to just BBCE auctions. There's a risk consigning to every single auction. As you know, as I know, we've consigned to many of the auctions that are out there today. Sometimes it doesn't go for the price that you maybe even got offered.
Yep. Depending on the item, if it's something interesting or an everyday item, you never know what you're going to get.
Right. So specifically speaking, with Baseball Card Exchange and Baseball Card Exchange being the leading authentication company in the world for unopened material, there is certainly a benefit to consigning your unopened to us. We have, and many people have asked and are just starting to realize that we've been offering a really huge promotion on authentication if items are consigned to us. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, any item that's valued approximately $500 or higher, we will authenticate and wrap for free. We will waive the fees if it's given to us for consignment for an auction.
Right. So you did say approximately $500. So if it's a $489 item,
no, we won't argue about that.
we won't argue about it. We're going to be easy with it. Easy about it. However, now when someone consigns and they give these raw boxes, is there a charge if the box is not deemed authentic?
Ever since we started doing authentication, I've never charged anybody for a box that did not pass.
Wow.
I just, I always hate it myself when I submit something to be authenticated, and not only do they tell me it's trimmed or altered, but they also keep my money.
Yes.
I just don't have the heart to do that, so I won't charge fees for anybody on anything that doesn't pass.
Yeah, and that's, it's a big deal when you're talking about, $100,000, an 86 Fleer box.
Yes.
For someone to go out and say, I just spent $75,000 on this, which is way under market value.
Yep.
And that's the reason why it's not authentic.
Yep.
Bring it to us, and then we charge $5,000 to do it.
Yep. And believe me, it'll realize a lot more than the $5,000 fee.
Correct.
And again, if it's not good, some people have said, I've been holding on to this to help pay for my son's education. And, being the bearer of bad news is the worst. When
Correct.
you have to tell them the box is really, complete garbage.
Correct. And what we've seen over the past 5 auctions at BBC auctions is that the unopened is getting very strong prices.
Oh, yeah. We've set a lot of records for things, packs, boxes, cases, everything.
Yeah, I've noticed, and, I know this isn't, extremely high dollar amounts, but we have been getting an extremely high amount of money or bids or action, if you will, for unopened cases that are not really that expensive.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, it could be a 1990 Topps baseball case or a
89 Fleer baseball wax case.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've had a couple air code cases in the auction that I felt have been strong. And You always wonder, when BBCE auctions started, we thought, how is graded cars going to do?
Right. Yeah, we're so well known for unopened. I was curious, is the graded cards going to do well?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be picking up a lot of traction.
Oh, yeah.
In the last auction, we had a 61 Fleer basketball set, 8s and 9s, and lots of action.
Yeah, that's
Some
several
record
records,
prices,
right?
too. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's a good thing. So, our next BBCE auction is going to be right during the national time
I believe it begins
period.
July 30th.
That's correct.
Which is the first day of the national for the public.
Mm-hmm. And then it goes to, I believe, August...
A Sunday, I think the 17th.
17th, right.
Yep.
So if you have any items to consign, we'd love to show them off, especially special items, right?
Yeah, we're going to display at the national a lot of the better items that are going up for auction that night.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have anything, available that you'd like to consign, it's going to get a lot of eyes at the national convention.
And, this is going to be, in our opinion, our auction, not just with product, but also in the way that we promote and market the items that are consigned to the auction.
Yep.
So, I think it's our motto here that we want to do everything better each time that we do it. And I think this fifth auction here, or sixth auction, we're really going to take a giant leap, if you will, into the marketing and the advertising of all of the items that come into our auction. So yeah, get your items in, call us. All of the numbers and emails will be displayed. You have plenty of time right now, but don't wait too long.
Right.
The sooner we can get your item, the better that we can promote it.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So, is there any items that you'd like to highlight real quick about our next auction coming up that will be able to be previewed at the National?
Like I said, in the last auction, we had a pretty impressive 61, 62 Fleer basketball set.
Okay.
This coming auction, there's going to be quite a bunch of impressive 57, 58 basketball.
Oh, yeah.
One of the items we just made public that's going to be in the auction is a Koozie rookie in an 8.5.
Wow.
I believe that's population 2.
Any higher?
There's 3 higher, but I cannot find a public sale.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
And the last 8.5 was sold many years ago. So this is only the second one, but a very popular, obviously, rookie Hall of Famer.
Iconic card.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep.
57 tops. Any other 57 tops?
Oh, yeah. There'll be a lot of other ones.
Okay.
Other Hall of Fame 8s, a lot of commons.
Wow. So, yeah, Bob Cousy, 8.5 PSA rookie. Doesn't come available very often at all. Definitely a must-see for many people.
Oh, yeah.
And so any unopened, other than packs that maybe unopened boxes that we have just yet?
A few so far.
Yep.
I mean, we have a bunch, but a few of note lately that have come in. A 75 baseball wax box.
Oh, yeah.
And the
Always
non-mini,
popular.
this is the regular size.
Nice.
75 basketball wax box. Mid-70s basketball is always very popular. And the 75 is a tougher box.
Yes.
So,
yeah, well, we're certainly looking forward to that. And at the National 2025 this year, you can preview all of the items that have been, well, not all of the items,
Yep.
but several of the items that we have consigned to our auction starting on July the 30th. So in closing here, just real quick, in your opinion, what do you see as surging? What do you see as selling well at auction houses, not just BBC auctions, but auction houses in general right now?
it seems definitely from our own auctions that football's been very hot. Football, especially 80 through 87.
Okay.
Wax, rack, cello, everything football has been surging. Also, one of the big things that really surprises me how strong it's been is cellos and rack packs with major key stars showing.
Okay.
Very popular. It seems to keep growing.
Mm-hmm. What would you talk about that for just a second? What era are we talking? Are we talking 70s and 80s? Or are we talking 80s?
For packs with stars showing?
Yes.
Yes, everything.
Everything.
However, when you get to pre-78,
Okay.
it starts to get difficult to find.
Okay.
And, of course, a lot of bad stuff.
Yes.
So, yep.
Yeah, you were showing me the other day, I know it wasn't 70s items, but you were showing me some things that came in that were 80s football racks that were...
Yeah, there was a handful of 86 rack packs with Rices on
Yes.
top. And they had all been, double stamped, double crimped on the edge, which is something you look for, improper collation.
So one of my favorite players, obviously, being a Bears fan, Walter Payton. How rare is the 76 Topps Payton on top rack?
Very difficult.
Very
The
difficult.
cello pops up quite often.
Okay.
The rack pack is very difficult.
What's estimated value on something like that?
I don't think I've seen one sell lately. I mean, I could be wrong there, but it's tens of thousands.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
For the rack pack, yes. Definitely 5 figures.
Okay. Wow. So there you go. That's what's surging. That's what we feel is really doing very well right now. Football. Anything else?
As far as graded cards go, it's still the iconic stuff.
Yeah, right.
The A-list Hall of Famers. Mantle, Koufax, Clemente, Mays, Aaron, Ruth, Gehrig, all that stuff.
Yes. So yeah,
I've noticed one thing too is that commons have been doing very well. You used to be able to grade commons through PSA at pennies
right.
back then compared to what it is today. So a lot of people don't want to send in commons and pay the fee when sometimes it doesn't go for much over the fee.
Correct.
So being able to buy it already encapsulated, especially commons, those have been very strong.
Yeah, with the average price, I don't want to say average price or quote any PSA prices right now, but it's around the $20 range, could be a little more,
Yep.
So when you're sending in a 1976 Topps common baseball card or football card because you're building a set registry,
Right.
an 8 goes for what, $7 or $8, right?
Yes.
And you need a 9 for your set registry, and maybe that's only a $28 to $30 card, right?
Yeah. I mean, it even dips into like 64, 65 tops.
Right.
If you want to submit cards and they come back as 8s, the $20 fee may not make it feasible.
Correct.
But if you can already buy it graded, you could save a lot of money, which is another reason I think complete graded sets, are very popular because, again, you could avoid all the fees and do it all at once.
Correct. Yeah. So if you have a PSA set registry that you've worked on, a PSA set that is in a set registry, you're looking to sell it. Hey, we'd love to have the opportunity to consign that to the auction.
Those have been strong. Yep.
Been very strong, and we've noticed that the reason why they're strong too is because we get the same bidders acting on multiple different lots. And so, they just want to buy everything they need at one swoop. It makes life easy for them.
Right. Yep.
So you get bigger numbers. They don't have to search as long to find the cards that they need. So as always, we're happy to talk to you about consignments. We're happy to get you connected to BBCE auctions. We will look forward to working with you and take good care of the items that you consign to us and market them very, very strongly, especially this next auction. Thanks for watching again at the BBC podcast. Again, I'm Phil. This is Steve, and we'll see you next time.